All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Tactical MIDI. I don't know if you can hear me. My hair, I need a haircut. Sorry about that. Uh, well, it has been great. It's been a long day, great day. We have here the M-Wave FM1s. They're running through the Tonverk. Each one of them has their own channel. Let's change that. Yeah, it's running perfectly. We gotta go here to the FL Studio. Uh, let's check it out on FL Studio. I have this is my program that I use is Analog Obsessions Loaded. I recommend it. That's how my voice sounds like this. It does a great job of de-essing, noise reduction or noise gate, and then I got a good compressor equalizer. It's pretty basic, and I like it. It works very nice. So right now we're here in hold on one second while I change this thing. Yeah, we're here on FL Studio, and it's looking pretty good. We're on FL Studio here. We got, as you can see, we got the mixer going on. Let me take this window out of the way, and we got the mixer going on. I don't have any of the other machines running at the same time. I think that it adds a lot of weight to the latency of the whole thing. Right now, when we go to options here, audio settings, we are at 6 millisecond round trip on the buffer. The buffer length, 280 samples. That's enough. Let's see how it goes while we keep adding channels. Now we got channel 1 and 2 of our FL Studio. You have FM1 on my left hand side, and on my right hand side you got this other one, and that's how it's running. I wanted to show you well, I can't show you, but it's pretty simple. It's a pretty simple thing. Let me see if I can show you here. We're gonna go to insert number 3. We're gonna check all the audio. Right now, I'm currently using a aggregate device where I have my 16 tracks of 16 plus 4, which you got analog 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then you got 8 more, and that's with the audio fuse and the Audient ID44. Now from here down, you have mix left and right. You have track 1 left and right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 8. Bus 1, bus 2, bus 3, bus 4. Send 1, send 2, it's send 3, and then the input right here. And since I'm putting in the 2 M-Wave FM1s, they're going in as mono, so you got the other mono options right after these. These are like stereo pairs. What's going on? Be jamming since birth. You have the analog. After that, you get all the analog stuff after, like separate mono channels. 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 16, and then Then you start with mix left and mix right. And that's what I got on the first two channels, mix left and mix right. And then we're gonna start opening here. Track 1 and 2. Yeah, 36 inputs is banana. Hold on a second. I just loaded channel 1 left and right. And I'm gonna load right quick. I have let me see. I have a whole bunch of new multi samples that I loaded up in here. It's a ton of multi samples that I got here, as you can see on your screen. We're gonna load up this one, which is the sign. Some of them are not working. I have to siphon through them, but this one works just fine. So that's the way it sounds directly into the USB audio. It's not bad at all. And that's a 50 that, like, I'm gonna put up the main volume does not affect at all how much volume you get. Let me show you here right quick. You see the main volume, I can turn it down and it's still it's gonna get the same volume. So we're naturally very low, like we are like at 36, and we can fix that by going into the amp velocity and make it linear. And now we got a better, we put it to linear here like you saw, and then now you see the levels are higher. All right, let's go to track number 2. Let's load another track. Let's see how it works. We want to see how much stability. I think it's gonna work perfectly. Just give me a second, because every time I load a channel, it kind of takes its time. But as soon as it loads, just because it's an aggregate device, that's why it's doing that. I did it this way because I want to see if I can work the entire setup without, as an aggregate device, and not having to put everything through Overbridge, because I like to use my analog inputs into the converters of my audio interface, right? So we got channel 2 loaded right now, and we're gonna find another source, another multiplayer. Let me see how this one sounds. Yeah, I'm not getting. Let's see. Let's just. Oh, but I don't like that one. Right now, it's not giving me like dark piano, attack piano. Let's see, violin. Let's do a violin, see what happens here. Well, it sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty good. And let's hit play and play it while the FL Studio is playing. It sounds wonderful. 36 inputs, yes, sir. So we got channel 1 and 2. Let's add a drum track. Let's go to track number 3. Let's add another track here. And it's gonna be, let me see, 1, 2, and 3. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to subtracks, and what I can see right now, I don't know if you notice, um, it's not letting me audition when you load the channel by itself. And I bet you 100 to 1 that if I load on the master channel, if I load the mix left and right, I'm gonna be able to hear the audition. Nope, nope, doesn't let me audition. That's a thing they're gonna have to fix. So if you don't know your sounds, it's gonna be kind of hard. Ah, let me see. No, no, it's not even the volume, because I'm hitting it, and it's supposed to give you like feedback. Let's go again to track number 1. Track number 2. No, it's not letting me hear. Yeah, for some reason it's not letting me hear the thing itself. So let's do a brand new, and let's find some stuff. Let's go to an Electron sound library right quick, because Electron has like drum sets, Electron samples. And we can go in here. Let's do a low fives hip hop. Let's go with mask. Yeah, it doesn't let you audition. Let me see if there's a problem here. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it did it, but it doesn't let you. It doesn't let you audition. That's kind of a downer. But at least we got, at least we got something. Let's go by ear. Six. All right, we got all this. Um, all right, so let's try to build something here. On this one, let's put something like, let's put a phaser on it. And then let's send it to a reverb. Let's go to the reverb here and change it to a rum slang, which I like a lot. A little bit of damp on it, early reflections, and then track 1. Okay, so I can hear that you're gonna have to load, which is crazy. You're gonna have to load send 3. Let's load it. Yeah, it's a little bit too much. Let's lower the amount. And let's do something like that at this metronome. And I want to change the tempo down to, I don't know, let's put some 80, 87. It's some lo-fi drums on it. Let's hit play. And that's the other thing. I can't hear it. So we're going to put it here on the FL Studio. We're going to put 87. That's what we're going to do. Let's add 64 steps to that. And let's hmm. That kick, I really don't like that kick, but yeah, this is like very cheesecakey. All right, let's see if we can add another channel here. That's the send channel, channel number 4. I still heard another hiccup, but that's normal because I have 32 channels plus 20 more channels. So that's a lot of channels to have on access on the computer. And let's see what we can check here. Let's get another multiplayer here. We still don't have. Let's see, Tropicana. I don't know what's that. Tropicana. What? Yeah, whatever that is. Let's add some distortion on this thing. Hmm. Let's play that thing. Okay, so now we have a total of many channels? 7 channels total opened up all the way. It's pretty stable. Really, really stable. All right, so I'm not gonna care too much about this. I'm just gonna erase all of it. I think is the way to go. Let's load it again. And probably it's not even. Let me see if it kept the overbridge. Yeah, the overbridge is kept. Let me change here. So we did the test. We opened seven stereo, well, 5 stereo channels and 2 mono channels, and it works just fine. Let me get here. Now, this is the part where I want to show you guys. Once you download the 1.40, to enable this function of multi-tracking, you're gonna go here on your cogwheel, and then you're gonna go on system, and then you're gonna double click USB config or USB config, and now you're gonna have the option of regular USB audio MIDI, like that's class compliant, which works well too. If you want to use class compliant, it's with class compliant, you don't have to set up the, what you may call it. Let's set it up. Let's see. Hello. Yeah. All right. I don't know, the volume went off. The volume went off. Let me get this in UMT. Sorry. Okay, okay. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. All right, so now we have the regular USB audio. Let's check here on our aggregate device. It's gonna appear offline. Gonna check it back in. All right. So let's say yeah. Okay, we're back. So on audio compliance, let's see what we got here. We should have only 4 channels. Yeah, you got input 23, 24, 25, and 26. And what else is in there? Input 23, 24, 25, 26. So you're basically getting only the 4 outputs of the Tonverk. But now, if I'm not mistaken, we can load it up. I just loaded it up, and let's go to track number 1, and let's say we're gonna load another multiplayer. Let's get that going. And let's see if you see with the class compliant, you still get you get now the the audio preview of your multi samples and samples themselves, which is very necessary. I don't know if they that's a thing, they probably was an oversight. That sounds pretty good. And it sounds louder. That's why I feel the difference. I really do feel the difference. It sounds a little bit louder. Let's take the velocity to volume to linear. Yeah, the volume is different. So with the overbridge, you might get a little bit less volume, and that's what I noticed yesterday. And with the class compliant mode, you get a little bit more punch on the volume, way more. And it probably could be because each channel is like a plain channel. It's not going through multiple gain stages. And that could probably be it. But still, it adds a little bit more work. Yeah, it sounds really good. There's nothing I could say that, it is what it is. It sounds really good. And yeah, and these are the multi samples from samples. If you get the full complete samples from Mars, the whole library, which sometimes they put it up on special. You'll get all these multi samples that I'm showing you, and some of them are contact. They have contact based multi samples, and I recommend if you're gonna do the conversion using convert with Moss, use the contact library ones because they sound the best. This is one of those, and the quality is there. Yeah, it does sound really nice. And you can put this into mono mode, mono, and then do some. Sounds pretty cool. Sounds awesome. If we make it polyphonic. Okay, polyphonically it doesn't sound that great. Let me see, go up. Yeah, it sounds pretty cool. Let's get another multiplayer here. This one is like a, like a 303 style. Let's change it to a different one. That sounds weird. Yeah, some of the sounds are not that great, but it's not all of them. Here's a marimba sound. Yeah. So my conclusion right now is that Tonverk 1.40 is very good. Um, like I said, the audition using multiple outputs, it's not available. The audition of the samples, but what I recommend is using like the regular one when you're building your track. Like use your class compliant mode and build up on that, and then when you're ready to multi-track it into your DAW, switch it to that, set it up on the DAW and do your multi-tracking, and then that way you can work that way a little bit more easier. Anyways, I mean, you can either track, you could, there's so many ways of doing this. I think the best way, if you made the beat beforehand, this is cool to have a session where you're tracking all the beat completely. Or like I recommend that if you are gonna go into a session, just record the session. I think it's even better to work that way, just recording it and getting it done. If you're gonna just save it into your DAW, my case is that I want to keep them inside the machine. I want to keep my music inside the machine, that it can be played on the machine. You know, if I go somewhere with my machine, I can show my beats through the machine and, you know, do live things to it and whatnot. That's me, my way of thinking. uh, Modulation sources, let's go to that right quick, and that's here on trigger. So you have, let me see, you have key tracking, and on key tracking you have source tune, source vibrato speed. It depends on the source that you're using. You got all the filter stuff here that you can do. Amp envelope can be also modified. LFO1 speed and the multipliers and waveform. LFO1 waveform, you can change all that stuff with key tracking, which is awesome. I mean, then envelope depth. You got the envelope, LFO2, LFO1, and envelopes available, amp, filter, and the source, right? And you have that how many times? 4 times. So you have basically four macros that you can, or four modulation destinations that you can form with that. And I guess you can set the threshold here. Okay, that's pretty cool. Let's get out. Then you got velocity mode, same thing. Velocity mode has the same stuff. You have pitch bend. So your pitch bend, which is this thing right here, you can have any destinations there. And that's pretty useful if you have a keyboard. It's pretty useful. And then I think it could even be recorded. I'm not sure if it could be recorded. Then you have aftertouch. Yeah, it does have aftertouch, as you can see. I'm pushing down and it moves the aftertouch. And that's pretty cool too. I haven't tried that. Modulation wheel. It also works. The modulation wheel. And then these are things that I barely use, and that now that I'm putting my head into it. And then breath controller. I don't know what the breath controller is. I don't know what the breath controller is, so I don't know. Probably, I don't know what controller is that. Let me see. Track macro, octave, heat tracking, pitch, depth, and bend. Yeah, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have 6 modulation, extra modulation on each source. So, man, you got modulations all over the place. All right. Let's check out the filter. There's nothing new on the filter. Amp. There's nothing new on the amp. Envelopes. We got the same envelope reset and all that stuff is there. The effects section. When you press function and effect, you double tap effect and you got effects input level. So you have another gain stage for your effects. Input 1 level. You can go up or you can go up or down. So you can reduce the amount of volume that is going into the effect. And then you have panning after the effects. So you got it, you can center left or right. And then the last option, which is the new stuff, is you can swap the effects 1 by 2. All right. And then mods, I don't know. This page right here doesn't do anything whatsoever. It just tells you voice LFO source, voice LFO 2, filter, voice LFO 1. I don't understand. LFO 1, 2. Filter, then modulation envelope, and modulation envelope controls the amp too. I don't know. Sequencer trigger, the FX 1 and 2. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. I don't know if they added anything else that I know of. I can try to check here on their website. And I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm really tired today. Electron SE. We are Electron. Find out more. Release notes. All right, so we're going on the release notes here. Right quick. They got a shit ton of bug fixes all over the place. It says here, list of changes, improvement, added overbridge multi-channel USB audio streaming, which we tested and tested very well. Velocity tracking, key tracking now available modulation sources. We just saw that. Added the possibility of transpose patterns in semitones. So I don't know how that's done. So it's pattern up and down. Okay, pattern up and down. Okay, so you press pattern and plus or minus, and it will transpose the whole thing into a different note. Add a pre and post fader setting for audio routing menu. I just don't understand what means pre or post fader. It's now possible to copy and paste clear patterns without leaving the current pattern. I don't know how that one is done. I guess pattern. Let me see if you hit pattern copy. No. Copy pattern. Copy pattern. Then So pattern 2, I don't even know. I don't even know how that works. I'll figure it out later. Um, the presets menu is now has a filter search functionality. Let's check that one out. So you hit function and file, and you go to presets, and then you go load, and then now you have a category, and you hit drums. Say you got all the drums available here, even the ones you made yourself. I have a whole bunch here. You see, that's pretty cool. Awesome right there. You go to presets load, and then you go category, and you have keys, tags. You have all the tags here. Bright, dark, soft, hard, glitch, noisy, atmospheric, and all that stuff. And then you have a search also, and you can search, I don't know. Let's see, strings. There's no matches with strings. I don't know. You can, let me see. Let me do the search again. And you put here, let's put 909. 909. And then there you go. You got the 909 from Mars. So it makes the workflow even faster. I think that's a great thing they just did. Oh, so it's what? Hold the pattern number, hit copy. So if I go pattern 1, hit the pattern number and then copy. No, not copy trig. So go pattern number, copy. Oh, I see. So you press hold pattern here, copy, then here, paste. Nice. That's awesome, bro. Thanks for that tip. Then hold the pattern number down. You posted it and hit paste, hit pattern first. Yeah. Thank you so much for that. Be jamming. Awesome. This is clearly gonna make our workflow way faster. I don't have anything today because I'm very tired. I worked all day and I got off late from work because I'm short staffed. So I don't have today. Really, I don't have a mindset, and I'm gonna stop making videos for a couple weeks. I think I'm gonna take a break so I can produce, because I've been the little time that I had for myself. Yeah, sir. Thank you very much. Be jamming. Thank you very much. That's awesome. Uh, you know, making videos takes so much time from your creativity, and I'm just doing this just to share with the people online about the things that we have in common, and probably find things out even faster. Probably by making a video about this, a lot of people are gonna be like, probably some questions answered. They've been asking for stuff like, I don't know, they wanted to find out if it was really worth it to get a Tonverk and do the multi-tracking now that it has it. And as you can see, it works. It works flawlessly. I don't see anything but the fact that you cannot preview your sounds for some reason. I don't know why. That's a thing that we just saw here while doing it. There's no previous sound, but you still can make your beats and your projects and then multi-track them into your DAW right away, which is pretty cool. And the fact is that when you buy a machine like this is because you want to produce your music outside the box and then finish it inside the box, to do the last touch ups or whatnot. But most of it is done outside the DAW workspace, which is why we get into these machines right here, because it's it's not the same thing. It's different. It's hands on. That's pretty much it. Everything is tactile. Everything is there for you to twist, knobs to twist, and things to touch, and that's what you want. And what else on these release notes? Okay, it says here it's now possible to swap the order of the effects, which is okay. It is now possible to freely select MIDI channel for each track. And I love that, because I was having the problem that I just want the Tonverk to react to one channel, right? So right now Tonverk has channel 1, and when I change my track, I can still use the same keyboard for all the tracks. You know what I mean? So I keep it on channel 1. The same thing with the analog 4. I think I have analog 4 on channel 15 or 14. I can't, let's see. Yeah, and it's responding because I didn't do it on this one, but I have to. Let me see here. Let's do this. I don't even know what channel is responding to. Channel 14. Oh, I have it on the Tonverk. Don't worry about it. I have it on the Tonverk. So we're gonna go to track number 10, and we're gonna make it into a MIDI, and we're gonna go 14. What? Oh, I have the same channel, so let's do this one. Let's change it to channel 13 here, and then here, channel 13. And now I control the analog 4 with channel 10 of the Tonverk. That way I can just access the stuff here. But I really don't write the stuff for the analog 4 on the Tonverk. It's not, I'm just using it to send the MIDI to that one, and that one, gets, you get my drift. Yeah, I have to update my template because it changed, and now everything has changed now that I can use the Tonverk for that purpose. Because right now, yeah, that just cuts my work in half, because I don't have to. I have a one-stop place for MIDI, for changing the MIDI routings, like sending the MIDI data to all the different boxes. The only thing that I want them to fix. How you doing, Davey? The Hug Monster. The only thing I want them to fix, which is very important, is pattern change on the Tonverk. If they fix the pattern change when you have the Tonverk as the master clock, and you're sending pattern to change the pattern to the next pattern, it does not change it on the last step. It waits for a bar after the last step of the sequence. And I've been saying that, and people are not fucking listening. I'm sorry about the F bomb, but people are not listening. I went to the Electronauts and I told them I went to Electron. I sent them an email, and they said that they were not taking any more requests or any more stuff. So it's kind of odd. It's kind of odd that they're not aware of that, and if they're aware, they just don't want to fix it. I just don't understand. I don't. Like, the analog rhythm can do that. I can use it, and it changes all the patterns at once flawlessly. So it changes the patterns of every single machine here. Once the bar is done, or once the pattern is done, it will change to the next pattern. And everybody changes at the same time, exactly at the same time, with no issues. But if I do it with the Tonverk, it throws off the beat by a whole bar. Yeah. Oh, templates. I do templates, but I haven't done a template in a while because I haven't been multi-tracking. The last time I was working with template on the FL Studio was for this year's Kumite at the beginning of the year, where I was using my own template ready to go. So I was multi-tracking all the beats right away. Everything was set up. I just turn it on. I will make the beats with just a 2-track, and then I will change it to a template where everything was like, everything was separate on its own channel, and I just multi-tracked the whole thing. Yeah, it's the best thing you can do. What's going on, Blair's Beat Lab? I'm here. I was showcasing a little bit of the new Tonverk 1.40. And the new multi-tracking capabilities, the new stuff that it got. Everything works just fine. I just wish they figure out how to fix the pattern change problem. Yeah, that's the only thing left, is to fix the pattern change. And that I would like to have the Tonverk be the master, because I can just focus and then use everything else around it as they're like sound modules, right? So like the analog 4 is a sound module, and the analog rhythm is a drum module, and the digitone is another module. Everything is like a separate module, and I'm just writing on the Tonverk. That's what I want to do. The Blair's B Lab is asking, what part of the update are you most excited about? Oh my god, the multi-tracking. the multi-tracking because it's gonna let me take my beats or my instrumentals and record them into the DAW on separate channels, all of them on separate channels. That's the most exciting. And also to have each, I can show you guys here, each individual channel here. You see, I can just turn them all to 0. I'll turn them all off like that. And I was waiting for this because you couldn't turn them off. So I put them all off like that. I'll update the template tomorrow. I take a little bit of time. There you go. Oh my God. and like that. So I leave the outer channel, and the program change is channel 1. Program change out is channel 1. On all of the machines, program change is channel 1. So everything, when I press program change here on the analog rhythm, it changes all the machines at the same time. So what this makes me do is that I can press track and track number 1, right? But if I go to track number 2, it lets me use the same keyboard for everything. Go to track 3, I got the same keyboard. Track 4, same keyboard. Track 5, track 6, track 7, track 8, right? And this track 8, I don't want it to. Track 8, right? There's nothing on it. But if I go to track 10, I got the channel open for the analog 4, and I can play the analog 4 from here, right? And just press record on the analog 4 on the channel that I want, and I just record from here. You know what I mean? So I don't have to be jumping all over the place. Then I go to track 11, and I got one of the little ones here. Hold on. Oh, I gotta fix this thing. Yeah, I gotta do the template because it's not. There you go. Center everything. And then I go to track 11. And then I go to track 12. And on track 12. So I got access to all of them. I can go track. I can go on track number 9. And on track number 9, I can set up the MIDI, and I can open channel 16, which is the digitone. And now I got control over every single module from the Tonverk, and that way I can just, I can just stay on the same box and not have to overthink things. And if I wanna record a part of another synthesizer, right? For the synthesizers that don't have their own, like the FM1s, they don't have their own, sequencer, right? So I have 11 and 12, I can do their sequences right there. And there still can be buses that can add effects. The only caveat on that would be that you might not be able to control a lot of the effects. Like you cannot dedicate 11 and 12 to those buses or that sequencer to those buses effects themselves, right? But you can still use the effects on those buses. Like you can add 2 extra effects on any other of the 1 to 8 channels available tracks, But my option here, which is the reason why these things are the way they are, is because you can just go ahead. You'll make, in my case, that's what I do. I take, let's say, track number 12, and I make, let's say I make a sound. I don't know, whatever sound, I can make a sound. Let's say that's the sound I like. I just go here to the setup and then just record it, right? And now you can record the input. Let me see, main. Right? And then here you put 116, you arm. Oh my God. You gotta put some threshold. You arm it, and then you press spray. Oh my God, I did it again. Oh, hold on, I said it wrong. 1 to 16, no. 1 of 1, I think it is. And then you got it. And then you press yes. But I don't want to save this thing, so I just don't. But then you'll grab it and you can either throw it inside of a subtract to save space. You can do those things. Like, picture this: you want to use some of the external stuff. Let's say you don't want to use. You just want to extract from everything, right? Let's say you're running your audio into your Tonverk, like all the audio, and let's say you made the beat as a 2-track and you got all the audio running, right? And then what you do is you mute everything and you can grab the stuff. If let's say you just use one thing from the analog 4, you can just take that one thing, record it in as a sample, open a subtrack, add it to one of the 8 tracks of the subtrack, and that way you can have it on your arrangement on that subtrack, right? And that's if you want to do that. Depending on how much, I don't think you have to think a lot. You have 8 tracks. You don't really need to open a subtrack to save that much, because with 8 tracks, you have more than enough to make a beat and to make a good arrangement. With 8 tracks, you're golden. And then, usually you need to use more tracks when you're sending to, I don't know, sending effects and stuff like that. That's when you use the extra stuff. But you only need 6 to 8 tracks when you're making a beat. You got the drums. Just with the drum track on the Tonverk, it will take just one channel. If you're willing to use it that way, if you want to divide all your channels, all your drum tracks onto their own multi-track, then you will have to multi-track them, separately, right? But I think it's simple. I think we don't need to complicate ourselves. Right now, I'm working with groups. If I have a drum track, it's a drum track that is, the whole thing is a group. I don't think you need to have it every single time, everything separate. A lot of people like to use the trick of ducking, using the kick to duck something else. And to me, there's so many ways you can do ducking without having to do that. Like, it's insane that people cannot do ducking unless it's the way that people like it, where they have the kick sending a signal to a compressor to do the ducking. But then you can set up the compressor to do ducking anyways. Every time at every transient, you can make the thing duck every single time. Or in the case of Electron, you can just manually send it to a bus that you can have ducking made into that bus. And then what you do on that bus is that you add the same pattern of the drums. You copy the kick pattern on the subtrack. And then you go to one of the buses, you paste that sequence in there, and that's gonna give you basically the sequence of the kick. And then what you can do is you can modulate your amp envelope with those kicks, with those, with that sequence. The sequence is not gonna have a sound, it's just gonna be a sequence of events, and then you can add those events to the amp envelope, and that way you're ducking whatever instrument you want to duck, you can send it to that bus and it ducks it. That's it. Very simple. I just get a little bit pissy because everybody wants to do the side chain compression. But you don't have a side chain compress. But there's so many ways of doing side chain compression. You can duck stuff using your amp envelope, and you can fine tune these things not just one way. There's so many ways you can do it. That you can even do it. You can even do it per step, and you can just add the same steps of the kick inside of your track if you want to, or you have an amp envelope on every single track, so you can. That's very controllable. There's no excuse. You can use different ways of side chain ducking type of stuff. Yeah. I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm tired. I'm about to start cursing here. So, yeah, Tonverk 1.40, very cool stuff. I'm gonna let you guys go. It's already been an hour and 18 minutes of me just rambling here, which is pretty healthy, I think. And yeah, enjoy your Tonverk. We're waiting on the next stuff. I hope they bring more stuff to it. I don't know. I heard some oh my god. Hold on. Let me see. Yo, I turned off the YouTube. I clicked it off, but not the. I'm gonna let you guys go, all right? You have a great night, and I'll see you later, okay? Goodbye.